question, do you love your mother? Well, it's Mother's Day coming up soon, so you should cook her this. And if it's gone past and you've missed Mother's Day, well, you can cook this for the special person in your life, because this is amazing. Sweet Chilli King Prawns, guys, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. And today we are going to cook something really special for Mother's Day that's going to impress the socks off of her, even though it's really easy to do. Sweet Chilli King Prawns. And for this recipe you're going to need some nice plump juicy king prawns. I've got about 200 grams of king prawns here. It's probably enough for one person. We're just going to make this for one. You can double up or triple up or whatever you need to do on this recipe. Okay, you will also need some sesame oil, about a teaspoon, some toasted sesame seeds, a little bit of chopped ginger. I've got about a dice-sized chunk of ginger here, which I've finely sliced and chopped. You'll also need some spring onion for garnish, a couple of cloves of garlic, a nice little spicy chili pepper. You can choose what heat you want to give your mum, okay? Make sure you choose the right heat. About a tablespoon of oil for stir frying, a couple of tablespoons of honey for sweetness, a good splash of soy sauce for the saltiness and the soy flavour, and about 100 ml of water to make the sauce. Okay guys, get your woks ready. Right guys, we'll start with the king prawns. What you need to do is get the nicest, plumpest, juiciest king prawns you can. You can go to your local fishmongers for this, you can go to the supermarket, you can get them frozen. Frozen king prawns are a lot better than they used to be, but obviously you can't tell until you've tried them, so it might be worth you trying a few just to see how it goes. Now if you're getting them fresh from the fishmongers, sometimes they'll come still with the shells on and they won't be deveined. So peeling them is quite easy, you just take the shell off. Deveining them is something that is actually quite simple, and I'll tell you how to do it because mine have already been deveined. What you'll find is that the king prawns are just kind of nice and round at the top. And what you need to do to devein them is get a sharp knife and just run it along the back of the king prawn like so, and you'll cut it up just like it is then. And then all you got to do is the inside is basically, without trying to sound gross, the guts of the king prawn, and you'll just flick it out like that all the way down. It should come out in pretty much one line of kind of black goo. When it comes out, and that's it. That's all you have to do, and then the king prawns are ready to go. Next we have the ginger, the garlic and the chili, and these three ingredients pretty much make up the backbone of all Far Eastern cooking. It's like a holy trinity. The three of these things go well together in so many different dishes, and you can never really go wrong with using them. I think the only thing you have to be wary of is how hot the chilies are and how much you use. Please, obviously, if you are making this for your mum, make sure that you add the appropriate amount of chili, okay? This, according to its size, is a medium chili. It's spicy, but it won't blow your head off. You can get hotter ones, you can get the bird's eye chilies, the Scotch bonnets, and they are really hot. But please tread carefully. So to prepare this, I've given it a bit of a wash. Gonna just take the tail off, and then we'll just slit it like so. Cut it down the middle, remove the seeds, because the seeds are quite hot, and the membrane, apparently all the heat is, well, a lot of the heat is contained in that membrane, so we'll take that out, because I'm assuming we all love our mums, right? Okay, so yeah, I mean this dish that we're going to do is it's fairly kind of mild. Again, you can adjust this according to what you think the people you're going to serve it up to like or prefer. So we're going to chop it fairly finely, and then this will infuse into the dish quite nice. Okay, so that's done for that, and same with the garlic. We're going to chop that up really fine. Like I said, the garlic and the ginger and the chili just blend together so well and create some lovely flavours, and you can add other things to it to kind of, take it one way or another, with this dish, we're going to add the sweetness of the honey, which will just kind of, it just goes harmoniously with it, even though you think in your head, sweet and hot. Does that really work? Of course it does. It actually does. Okay. A couple of cloves of garlic. Again, you can, depending on how many people you're making this, you can scale this up however you feel. Okay, if you like more garlic, you can add more garlic. If you like hot food, then you can add a hotter chili or more chili. And there we go, our holy trinity. One nice touch is to add some toasted sesame seeds. When you get them from the supermarket, I think you can get them toasted and untoasted. These came untoasted, so I did that prior to starting this recipe. I've actually got a little video coming out, just a little time-lapse video to show you how I did it. But basically you just use a pan, and you don't put any oil in it, and you put it on a low medium heat. You put them on and you keep them moving, and from a very, very pale kind of white cream color, they just go a little bit golden brown. You don't want to go too you don't want to overdo them because they'll become burnt, but what you want to do is just toast them until they have a tiny bit of color in them, and that releases the oils in the sesame seeds, and also starts to caramelize, which means that it'll get a nice kind of toasted flavour, exactly what it says on the tin, really. Toasted sesame. You can almost imagine what that tastes like without actually eating it, and it's really nice. It goes with this dish really well. So have a go, guys. Really easy. So the next stage is to get your king prawns, and we're going to stir fry them very quickly on their own before we make the sauce. And this means that we're not going to... The worst thing you can do with king prawns is overcook them. Okay, obviously we don't want to undercook them, but we want to make sure they're not overcooked, because when they go overcooked, they're very rubbery, not very nice at all. Okay, so we're going to put about a tablespoon of cooking oil in the pan. Any cooking oil will do, vegetable oil, rapeseed oil, corn oil, anything like that. Again, don't be using olive oil or sesame oil, because that really isn't for frying, it's for adding flavour. Okay, so we're going to get up to temperature, and we're going to add these king prawns, and we're just going to almost flash fry them, just get them going, sear them if you like. Okay, put them on one side, cook them for about 30 seconds or so, and then turn them over. And we should get a little bit of caramelization on them, which will help with the texture and also with the flavour. Apart from that, we're going to do nothing else with them, because they're going to absorb the flavours from the sauce that we're going to make in a little while. Guess one question I keep getting asked about is, why don't I use a proper seasoned wok? And my answer to that is, if I turn them over, there you go. Well, the thing is with seasoned woks is they tend to be quite difficult to use on a home range, unless you've got a big old wok ring with a high-powered gas flame burner. So I tend to use non-stick woks pans. It works really well on a domestic hob. The other thing is, my remit, my goal, the remit sounds really kind of high-end. What I'm trying to do, basically, essentially, is to help the home cook, because that's what I am. I'm not a chef. I've been around food all my life. Most of my family is chefs, but I am not a chef. I've been around food all my life, and I've kind of, it infuses into you, and kind of, I've always cooked at home. I always love cooking. There we go. Out come the king prawn. So my job is to teach, well, my aim is to teach people how to cook using what you got. You know, I'm not trying to be pretentious or anything. What I'm trying to do is help normal people cook really nice food the way I would do it. And therefore I'm using stuff that I've got around my kitchen. Yeah, I could invest in really high-end stuff, or really kind of proper stuff, fully seasoned carbon woks and stuff like that, but you don't need to. And that's what I'm trying to tell, because I think that's what puts off a lot of people. Oh, if I haven't got the right gear, then I can't do it. But that's not true. I'm a photographer, right? And it's the same in that field. If you have the skills, it can really help you much more than getting the right expensive gear can help you. And it's the same with cooking. So don't be put off by that. Just have a go. The more you do it, the better you get. And it's not about the kit, it's how you use what you've got. Right, people, onto the sauce. So we're going to add a tiny bit of oil to the pan again. Get that up to temperature. One of the most important things when you're doing any kind of stir frying or frying is to make sure that the oil is hot before you put the ingredients in. Not too hot, because especially with things like ginger and garlic, you'll burn it if you get it too hot. But you've got to have some heat in there, otherwise you're going to kind of boil it, and that's not good either. So you need to add a sear to it. So basically, you know you got it right when you hit the pan with your ingredients, it starts to sizzle. That's what we want. Okay, so put my money where my mouth is. Ah, there you go, sizzle. Yeah, there's always a little bit of relief when it works, you know. And again, I wish you had smell-o-vision, because this smells awesome. The 3 aromas just kind of comes up and envelopes you in this kind of sea of flavour. And if this doesn't set you drooling, I don't know what will. So we get this going, and again, be careful that you don't burn it, especially the garlic. Garlic, when it's finely chopped, burns very, very easily. Okay, so that's enough. We're just starting to get a bit of colour into the garlic, so that's when we add the 100 ml of water. This will make up our sauce. Now, I say sauce, woohoo, that is really pungent with the chilli. That's got some kick to it. Okay, I say sauce, but it's really more of a glaze, a sticky glaze. We're going to reduce it down so it just coats the king prawns. So in order to do that, we're going to add the 2 tablespoons of honey. You can use syrup, you can use brown sugar if you like, or even normal sugar, but honey gives it a really nice flavour. So we'll just stir that in and get it on a nice kind of rolling boil, and that will reduce down slowly. Okay, as we reduce it, the honey will thicken it up naturally. So we're going to add the sesame oil. I say about a teaspoon, not too much, because sesame oil is quite potent. And I see it thickening up already. And then also the splash of light soy sauce, which will add a little bit of saltiness to it. Okay, and as you can see, that is starting to reduce, get stickier. So wait, don't put the king prawns in too early, otherwise again we're going to overcook it. We'll just wait until it's kind of like almost the perfect kind of gloopiness for the coating. And you can feel that as you kind of stir it with your utensil. There it goes. Okay, and at this point, there we go, we're going to add the king prawns. I'm going to stir it, increase the heat for a bit. And further reduce it. Okay, we can take it off the heat now. You have to be careful because that honey makes it really hot in there. And the final touch is we're going to add our toasted sesame seeds. And there you have it, guys. Sweet Chilli King Prawns. Get your taste buds ready. Right, guys, the moment of truth. Tasting. I'm serving it on a bed of steamed or boiled rice, which I'll give you the recipe for over here because I know a lot of you are uncertain on how to cook steamed or boiled rice. Actually dead easy, but check out my recipe for it. Steamed rice goes with most Chinese dishes because it absorbs the flavors that you've made in your main dish and is neutral but still nice, and that's what you want. I think if you kind of have two flavors going with your rice or whatever you're doing to accompany your main dish, it can fight what you'd actually made and can confuse your taste buds. It doesn't make it harmonize as nicely. So I always like steamed rice with dishes like this. So let's go for one of the king prawns. Look at this bad boy. The prawn is perfectly cooked and the sweetness is lovely, and the heat from the chili and the garlic and the ginger, amazing. Remember that, the holy trinity of Far Eastern cooking. Your mum is going to love you for this. Oh yeah, excuse me, I'm going to have another one. And I've got the crunch of the spring onion just there as well, which is delicious, really nice, and it gives it a bit of freshness to the dish. So guys, what you're waiting for, you need to make this dish for Mother's Day, for Friday, for any day, any special occasion. This is just so easy to make. It took me what, 10 minutes to cook, a bit longer for prep, but so easy. And people are going to think you're a genius because it looks like one of those dishes that takes a lot of skill, training even, but no, it's so dead easy. So try it. So let me know what you think of this recipe in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you like what I do so you get notified of all the recipes I'm going to be pumping out. I'm really got a head of steam on now, so there's lots more coming your way, some amazing recipes, so watch out for it. And thank you very much for watching. Take care.